Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Dickey. I'll be reading today from my book called A Patriot's Journey Forging Hope. This is volume 1. Just know that this is an anthology. So volume 2 will be coming out on July 4th, and then September 11th, and then November 11th. Those are the pre-planned dates that I've arranged. Also tomorrow I have arranged, the mayor decided that he's going to be giving a PSA. And his assistant decided to find a veteran, and they found me, and they realized that I wrote a book about poems and healing with PTSD and TBIs. So they asked me if I'd like to come and read one for everybody. So I decided to write actually another one fitting just for this occasion. And it's called When Past Meets Present. It says, I take my family out for a perfect walk. Nothing but joy and laughter as we talk. Then out of nowhere, I recall the frightful sound. I grabbed my family and pulled them down to the ground. I'm looking at them with fear in my eyes. They don't know what's going on. This is no surprise. I say, don't move, to stay close to the ground. I need a better position to look around. My wife grabs me and says, you're back home, okay? It's It was a car that backfired down that way. My heart was racing super fast. It seemed so real, like in my past. I hate the thought that my family was brought into something that I did not want them to know. Should I fully tell them or continue to say no? Now on walks, I am on edge. In my mind, I have my family walking in a wedge. I'm trying so hard to let it go, but the only thing they see is this madman show. I promised myself I would never be weak. Heck, will freeze over before they will see me freak. I will forever be calm and steady. You will never find me not at the ready. It's actually a true story. Um, Besides the fact that it wasn't out for a walk, me and my wife went to Walmart to go get something around 10 o'clock at night. And as we were walking through, one of the stalkers drops a box right behind me, and it just totally freaked me out, man. I hit the ground, had my wife hit the ground, and I was like, imaginary feeling, I guess, from my M4, and just kind of like searching around. And she's just like, hey, you're home. Calm down. Relax. Um, and then the kid that dropped the box actually started laughing because of what he saw me do. And then my wife had to contain me before I hurt this dude severely because um, that was back when I couldn't control my anger. You know, I was still new to the whole PTSD thing. Um, but that was just a little example of what I was going to read for tomorrow. Point of the show, or point of these videos, is to go over my book, as you can see in the background there, and I'll just read one or two depending on how much time's went by, and I will just kind of go over what I was thinking and feeling at the time, and hopefully that the people that are hearing this message hear it, and the ones that don't need it, hopefully they can know somebody, or hopefully you don't know somebody, but if you do know somebody, you could point them in this direction and be like, hey, tune into this guy's our YouTube channel and listen to some of the things he has to say because it affects you. And it doesn't have to be for veterans, even though it is veteran based because that's what I am. But anybody with any traumatic issues, you know, it's a struggle, and this can actually help anybody. So anybody that's went through some pretty horrific things, you're not alone. Um, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay, for poems. First one is called Rise Up. It says, I'm going on to hunt for my emotions. It's better myself I would cross every ocean. My wife has been my rock for so many years. She stepped up to the plate without any fears. Do you think I say thanks or any kind of gesture made? Nope, I put her through hell with never getting paid. She needs help as well, but guess who is never around? The guy who cares about her the most cannot be found. He is crying or whining or being a baby about his fears when she's in the trenches battling tears. I am selfish, greedy, the most important number one. She's hanging in there until my problems are done. I really do love her with all my heart. I just need to do better and do my part. She wants a teammate, having a life to share, not someone that just talks, saying they'll be there. It is clear I need to fight to show her I want to keep her as my wife. The show Friends said it best. Phoebe said, "We are lobsters for life." This came from one of the um, heated discussions we had. Most of you would just call it an argument. Um, but she kept saying I wasn't being a teammate and that I was being selfish and I only cared about myself. And, um, she always feels like she's alone and, single mom with 3 kids and basically, well, 4 kids if you count me because she always has to take care of me too. And um, I just wasn't doing a very good job stepping up and being a husband or being a father for that matter either. I wasn't being a good friend. I wasn't being anything. I guess. I guess I would just be isolated and only worry about myself. And then when she needed something, I'd act like it's too much, or I couldn't do it, or it was impossible, or anything other than what she needed. And yes, the person that suffered the traumatic issues, yes, I get it. We need help when we're dealing with personal stuff, and um, but you can't forget that you're a half to a whole. There's somebody that is supposed to complete you on this other side, on this journey. And if you don't have anybody, you know, who's pushing you or trying to keep you in the straight line, then it seems like you're just kind of just doing it just to do it. Um, I recognized my issues with anger. When I started getting stressed, I started just being really harsh and really direct. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it either. I was probably verbally abusive, um, and I put my family through a lot of things that a loving family shouldn't go through. And the kind of things that I've put my wife through, I'm gonna say 95% of them would have left. It's just I created an unbearable living environment for her, and somehow through everything she was going through, health wise as well. And it's just amazing, this woman. I mean, words can't express how great she really is. And when the guy was like, she should be a saint, I think when God was looking for wives, he's just like, I'm going to have to build this one special just for this dude. And he did. And luckily for me, she decided to, you know, go through all 15 years with me, all 5 deployments with me, all the battles when I got back, all the hardships when I was gone. Even home, I was gone. Like it was um, um, an operator's life, man. Is not a easy life for any family, let alone um, one that was actively engaged in 2 wars for so many years. Um, but yeah, like I said, she's amazing, and you just had to make sure I did my part, and that's why I'm getting the help I need. Okay, next one is called Dad Wears Cape. The problem with being someone's hero is you can let them down. You can make them feel on top of the world or crush them with a sound. The things are doing are starting to affect this little person. You're setting a bad example with all the drinking and cursing. You confront your kid and say, I never taught you that. They say shut up and poke you in the fat. The problem is out there on the table. For all to see, I hope you could change and be able. The weeks and days really flew by, I must say. Your own problems are solved in your own way. When you find forgiveness, the battle still isn't won. There is still plenty of work that needs to be done. Now you'll go around talking about how you were able to change. To my family and friends, this may sound strange. Hold the rod and spare the child. Don't be afraid and be a little wild. I always, tell my kids I'm Superman, because all the years and getting hurt and fast healing and just kind of appearing indestructible to them. Um, I was still packed with a lot of flaws. And my oldest saw those battles firsthand, because they're not easy to admit to. I mean, when you just talk about, some people just say, "Oh, I have a drink or two." Yeah, they don't sit there and say they have a bottle. They don't sit there and drink to be just gone, just to get away from everything and everyone. And then you just stop caring about your own health. You just say, screw it. You know what? I don't even care anymore. And your kids see that example. They saw somebody that used to just go running every day with a dog and doing all these physical activities with them on a regular basis and didn't even drink soda. Just was all they had was water, or like Gatorade or something, juice. But all of a sudden, your lifestyle just completely changed, and now they're looking at it going, "What the heck happened?" They just watched you just basically on the verge of just eating yourself to death and you not caring at all. And finally, when you start getting called out on it, not by others, but by your own children, because, kids, yeah, they're harsh and they're little jerks, especially when they're 3, 4, 5 years old. But they're calling it like they see it. They're like, "What the heck, dude? Why are you so fat?" And you're just like, "Oh, I am." Because you don't see the change because you're just letting yourself go. And you're letting your kids down. And they always say, don't meet your heroes. Well, if you are your kids' heroes, then you could let them down easily just by you just not being there, not being the dad you're supposed to be, not being the husband you're supposed to be, not being that good example. I'm supposed to be showing my children, because I only have girls, how a man's supposed to treat a woman, and I'm not doing that. I'm teaching them bad things. Because if I ever heard my daughters were having a husband that was like me, there would be problems. Because it's not right. And I'm not going to sit there and hide behind excuses. "Oh, well, I did this." Nah, man. Time to man up and just call it like it is. You're messing up. You're not being a good example. You're not being a good father. You're not being a good dad. You're not being a good teammate. You're not being anything good. Hell, you're not even being a good human at this point. You're just becoming a fat bastard for no reason. But it's easy to go one way and become that fat prick, and then when you get called on it and you're trying to change, now it's even harder to lose that weight because you're older and fatter and slower, and things take more time. And just don't lose patience in yourself. Like the old saying says, you can eat an elephant one bite at a time. You can lose weight 1 pound at a time. You're not going for perfection. You're just going for results. You're just trying to better yourself. And as long as you keep trying, then you'll never fail. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll have another one out for you tomorrow. Hopefully that one's a little more upbeat and seems like less of a drag on. Man.